You're listening to another fantastic Halloween episode from the same guys that brought you the last Halloween episode. Now join us as we take thee away to Hocus Pocus.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Cult Film and Review. This week we are talking about Hocus Pocus, a Disney film made in 1993. We're going to talk about that because it's Halloween themed and we're doing Halloween themed movies this month, of the month of October. So thanks for sticking with us. And you know what? Let's just start the show.
Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
Movie.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex? Klopex. Klopex.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Cult Film and Review. This week we are doing Hocus Pocus for our October Halloween themed / horror themed movies. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. This movie was made in 1993. I guess I'm going to start off my question this way. This movie, when it came out to terrible reviews. I think it was like 30% critic reviews on Rotten Tomato meters for critics, but yet it has a 70% with audiences. So what is the disconnect, or what does the audience see that makes this a cult film or a popular film to them, and what are the critics missing?
Well, I can say first off, this movie wasn't even supposed to be released in theaters. Like, it was supposed to be directly put onto like the Disney Channel or something like that. And they said that they thought that they figured that the star power enough, and they said, you know what, I think we have something special here, and they actually did release it in theaters. So, I mean, maybe that has something to do with it, because TV movies are made for TV versus something that you put up on a screen. But
okay, anybody else? What do the critics see that the audience is missing? What does the audience see that the critics are missing?
I think critics in general, I mean, I don't know, this is going to be a generalized statement. I don't know, it's going to be wrong, but critics are more like film people. So, you know, they look at what they consider as hokey dialogue, kind of a disconjointed film a little bit. So, like, they're rating it on that aspect. I think the reason why it became so popular was, I mean, I think it's pretty much ran the life of the ABC family 13 Days of Halloween, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it kills on there
and I think that
every time it's on.
I think the reason why it continues to have a popularity is because it's grabbing newer audiences, maybe. And
because of that?
Yeah, because of that. Because it's always playing to a new collection of children every Halloween. So I think that's what's propelling it. Realistically, I don't think it's a well-made film. So I don't think a film critic would have given it a good rating in general. Like, I can agree with most of that, but I think because of the ABC Family Channel, that's why it's continuing to grab an audience. So I don't remember seeing this movie as
I'm
going
to change your words a little bit. I want to ask Chris this. Chris, so do you think that the critics missed the heart of the movie? And then twisting your words a little bit because... But the heart of the movie, and looked at it as this is a film, and not looking at basically, I guess, the heart of the movie, which I think is a Halloween time adventure.
Well, I don't really know what these. At the time, I was kind of young when it came out. I can't really imagine what the critics were going into this movie thinking it was going to be. I mean, it's a Disney film. It's a Halloween themed film. It's got some pretty wacky looking characters in it. So I don't know if they were going into it really judging or being super critical, and then like the audience picked up on what you're saying, the heart of the film, which I think is the connection ultimately. It is the heart of the film. There's nothing really particularly overly creative about it, but the humor connects with a lot of different people, and even when you're older, you understand more about the film. So, carries.
The one thing I was going to point out, and this might have played into getting a low rating, and you just do a quick Google search of 1993 films that came out. Like, I'll just go down the list: Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, The Fugitive, Mrs. Doubtfire, Groundhog's Day, Philadelphia, Nightmare Before Christmas,
Wow,
Sleepless in Seattle, The Firm, True Romance, Tombstone. Like,
There's
dude,
some
it was
great
going.
Three
It
was a killer year.
Dude, it was going up against
Right?
a shitload.
Yeah.
By the time this came out, critics are like, "Wow!" In the grand scheme of things, of what I've seen this year, I mean, really compared to all of those,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
My favorite quote that I read on Wikipedia of one of the reviews was like, "Don't expect this movie to be this year's summer's sister act," and I'm like, "Oh God, like sister act?" But okay,
it tells you where critics' minds are
that's
at.
what they were comparing it to at the time. Like this is no sister act.
I will say something about this film. It is incredibly one-dimensional. Like, there's no deeper meaning to this. This is not a story about, family or, like, the deeper meaning of, like, friendship. There's no, like, overwhelming subtext in this film. It's literally some witches come back and terrorize some kids. And that's it.
And they have to
It's
defend
over.
themselves.
And they have to defend themselves. There's nothing, and that's something that critics are looking for. They want film to say something, I think, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And this doesn't say a damn thing.
Well,
let me-
shit, you're going up against.
it's
a-
almost
going up
mind-
against
it's
a World War
mindless.
II film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me let me
right.
Holocaust film.
let me break down the story a little bit and then ask you a question. So, how it starts out is there's these three sister witches that live out in the woods. It starts back in olden times, like 300 years ago, from 1993. Do the math.
1793.
There you go.
It's during, like, the Salem witch trials, basically,
Yeah.
1600s, right?
No, 1793.
So it's 1793? Okay.
And basically, they get caught capturing a little girl to suck her soul out to or youth, basically, and kill her so that they can be
Life
young.
Force.
Yeah. Her brother interrupts it, and it's more or less. That's where I kind of disagree with you because it is a story about a brother and sister and an adventure they go on because that's what the Thackeray Binks story was telling. They turn Thackeray into a cat once he tries to save his sister, but he doesn't. And that Thackeray has to live forever, basically, as a cat. Cannot die. And then the sisters come back when a candle is lit. The black flame candle is lit by a virgin, who is Max, our main character, and his little sister, Danny, and oh God, what's the girl's name?
Angela?
Is it Angela? The love interest, basically.
We should probably look that up.
Yeah, and then it goes from there. But here's my question: did we get George Lucas with this movie before George Lucas does? And what I mean by that is, was this story not about Max and his sister,
Allison?
Allison, that's the girl's name.
Allison.
Not about his sister, but about the witches, right? Because like you watch episode. Was it 4 through 6? And you think it's all about Luke, but turns when you watch episodes 1 through 3, you realize no, this is just the continuing story of Darth Vader.
Okay.
So is that like a snapshot of the witch's life? Because I feel that way because they're stronger characters.
Yeah.
And they shadow the heroes so much that I feel like that is the bad aspect of filmmaking we got into this one. I don't care what happens to the kids. I really don't.
I didn't either. I did not care.
But those witches are damn entertaining, and I don't want them to go away.
You're rooting for the bad guy, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the witches are the main attraction of this film. And I mean, but look who they got to play them. I mean,
Right?
Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and oh God, what's her name? Something Najili?
Yeah, is it Nancy? Nancy?
Yeah.
Is it Nancy?
We should probably look that up.
The theme of the night. She's fantastic.
Kathy Najimy. Okay.
She's fantastic.
They are all veteran actors. I mean, they've been doing this for years.
And I think that
these
shows
kids,
in
for
the
the
Well,
most
they all
part.
seem super theatrical. I mean, that's what you see
Well,
in
Bette
Disney
Midler for
films.
sure
Yeah.
is a performer. I mean,
I think Sarah Jessica Parker did theater too.
Oh,
I
I'm
think she
certain
was,
she
yeah.
has. I'm certain she has. The only other person that's kind of shining in this is Thora Birch. For her age, you know, you can kind of see
felt natural.
She's a stronger performer than the other two kids.
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The only kids that she's beat out by is Ice
and Jay.
And Jay.
Yeah.
Just like,
thank you for saying that.
They're like this Jay and Silent Bob of like this film.
Of Salem, Massachusetts.
That makes no sense too because
The
it's
Juggalos
so
of
funny. They're from
Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts, and they're knocking on this kid for coming from California, and one of them has a huge California accent.
No, but I'm so glad you brought that up because that's my favorite theme of Disney movies from the 90s. if you were from California and you moved to Middle America, there was something wrong with you because not only was it those two, but it was also the teacher in the very beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Who was like, with your tie-dyed shirt, wacky California guy. And it's like, he's from California, not from Mars. But in the 90s, if you were from California, you might as well have been from Mars.
Yeah.
Not only Disney
The
movies,
Outsider.
but not only Disney movies did this, but look at like Son-in-Law. Son-in-Law is the perfect example of that movie.
Yeah.
It is that movie in like a whole. But yeah, no, it's a funny, it's a reoccurring theme in like I feel like 90s kids movies. Like it was always like, we had to move. I left all my friends. Where are you from? L.A. Like Los Angeles. They didn't get it. Like idiots.
And I don't understand this crazy rural place that I'm living in right now.
Yeah,
things are so much different. I mean, pigs? Really? Is there a rooster going off?
The only other movie that did it differently was My Cousin Vinny.
Can I ask a question too? In the 90s in California, were there no bullies?
There always was bullies.
Yeah, I don't know because he seems so shocked that he's being bullied.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was kind of a dick, though. I mean, come on. Like, Max in the beginning, like, he's like, hey, here's my number if you want to talk about
That was a smooth move to pull that in the middle of class.
Yeah.
Oh, I would give
him mad props on that one.
Whoa.
Max's character is definitely
I didn't believe it.
set up to... No. Max's character...
You wish you had done it. That's why.
This is where it failed. Max's character was definitely set up to be cynical.
Yeah.
But the actor playing Max was not strong enough to get that across.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to be like the skeptic, like, I don't believe in witches and
that's why he...
Let's just like
magic.
this sucker and see what happens.
Yeah.
And he comes off more of a turd rather than a, like...
Ferguson.
He comes off rather like more of a turd than he does, you know?
I think that's a running theme, though, in a lot of shows and a lot of TV, is the skeptic fucks everything up. Because he's being too...
Mike?
Well, I know. I'm a skeptic myself, but I mean, you see that in like movies like... What is it? You ever watch the TV show Medium?
No.
His wife can talk to dead people. It went for 6 seasons, and the husband constantly was like, no matter what episode it was like, honey, there's got to be a rational explanation. I've solved 100 crimes from talking to dead people, and you don't believe that it could be that way today as well.
That would be Mike. Nope.
No. There's got to be a rational reason. It's like it's
a coincidence.
If there isn't a trope, it's got to be called the idiot skeptic. The one that sees all this evidence of metaphysical things happening and just ceases to believe that it could be true because he's so steadfast in being a cynic.
All right, guys. Well, you know what? Let's take a break real quick, and when we come back, I want to talk more about this film. I want to talk about the sets. I want to talk about the effects. I want to talk more about the characters also, because we really haven't gotten into like Winnie and her egotistical madness and all that. So let's come right back as soon as we can.
Sisters, look! It's the chocolate-covered finger of a man named Clark. It's candy. Why would the master give us candy?
Because he is not our master.
He isn't?
And these are not hobgoblins.
Oh!
See? Oh. Cool it, man!
A child!
Weirdos! Weirdos! Sisters! All Hallows Eve has become a night of frolic, where children wear costumes and run amok.
Amok! Amok, 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 amok. Oh, Winnie, just one child.
Hey, guys, we're back, and we're talking about Hocus Pocus. And one of the things I want to bring up was there is, and someone else brought this up, I believe it was Kyle, that it has a huge following on the 13 nights, ABC's Family's 13 Nights of Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, this thing blows through the roof in ratings. So I guess what's keeping it fresh for a generation, a newer generation, I should say. But what keeps it fresh for, or what doesn't keep it fresh, I should say, for you guys?
I feel like the film has become sort of like a Christmas vacation, if you will. Like it's a family friendly movie that you can watch. Everybody kind of looks forward to. Like it. That's why I think it's done so successful on TV.
Okay.
It's related to the holiday. It's something. It's like if you're not too into Halloween, you can still kind of watch it and get some laughs and everybody can sit down.
Mike?
For me, I'll tell you, it's because this film missed my generation. I wasn't a kid when this came out.
Yeah, what are you like?
And
40?
Well, 35. But I mean, we discussed this on the Return to Oz episode of how different 80s kids movies were versus like the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Things got really happy and really like kind of cheery. Back in the 80s, everything was dark.
This is a very dark movie.
It's not. It's. But
Thackeray Binks gets ran over by a bus.
Oh, so
no, there's some
back to life.
humorously weird, dark things that happen in this film. One particular one that I will say is when they put those witches in the oven and they burn them, and they come walking out, and they are just cheery
and
high-fiving in the air and shit.
I mean, listen, I get it. They're evil because they're witches, but you just killed 3 women in the most horrendous fashion you can think of, and these kids are just like, "Hey, all right!" Like that was more crazy
Well,
than I think.
duh. If you had some witches coming after you for your
300-year-old
soul,
witches,
I
yeah.
wouldn't care about burning their
Why the
asses,
hell does
dude.
the school have a giant walk-in
don't know.
fucking incinerator?
I don't know.
No, dude,
For
you don't.
pottery class? I
Yes,
don't
dude, they have the
fucking-
best pottery class in the state of Massachusetts.
Oh, is that what that is? Salem's
Yeah,
known for
a
their
lot of
pottery
donations
class.
go to the
Very-
pottery
yes.
course.
But still, is there any fear of these witches? Does any did any of you feel any kind of like, oh god, the stakes are really high? These witches might
Yeah,
kill
they
people.
could shoot lightning out of their fingertips and they could suck my soul
But
out of my
yeah,
body.
I mean, was it dark? Was it frightening to
No.
you in any way, or was it
No.
just comedically?
I don't
kind
think
of
they
like,
tried hard enough to get away from him.
Yeah.
The kids?
Okay.
Like originally, like in the opening story, it was like, "Oh, where's my sister? Oh, what? She just wandered into the woods, and now she's getting the soul sucked out of her."
She's a little
Thackeray
girl.
Binks turns into a fucking cat, and then I don't know. When they come back, they're less scary. When they come back, they're more comical.
All right, so let's talk some technical aspects because I feel like this is where we might get into some arguments here. I personally am a big fan of the sets of this movie. I think the town looks fantastic. I think the witch's house is fantastically done. Like the woods is great. Like I love the sets in this movie. Anyone disagree with me?
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Why?
I disagree. Other than the town, because I know this was shot on location in Salem.
Man, that's a gorgeous town. Then
It must
gorgeous
be.
town.
I mean, if it, yeah,
What
I've never been there.
fantastic, fantastic town, Salem.
Tell us how you really
Keep
feel,
doing it,
Cody.
Salem.
Keep doing it. Keep it clean. No litter.
Keep it classy, Salem.
Do for real.
Pumpkins, fucking 24/7.
But go ahead.
But other than that, no, I think the shack or the hut, whatever the heck that thing was.
Their house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it looked like a set. It just really looks like a set. It looks
is
like
a
something.
set.
I understand that, but it looks like nothing's really real. It doesn't really have a real old feel to it.
I'm
Doesn't it
sorry. It
look-
was
I
a
don't buy it.
museum.
Yeah, and doesn't it look like a Disney ride?
But
I mean,
also-
like,
Well, that's
kind
the thing I was gonna say.
That's what
is
I was
that-
gonna say. That everything looks fabricated.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and I felt the same way about the cemetery. I felt like the gravestones looked like they were made out of styrofoam.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. I mean, I'm not saying I disliked The Witch's Home, but it did definitely look Disney. It
Yeah.
looked like, like Chris said, it does look like it's off a Disney ride or any other Disney film. It didn't feel like a real
I think.
place.
So you know what the problem
So it was
is.
a total. It was a so seeing that against the actual on location of Salem versus that it was a huge disconnect. It felt out of place. It didn't feel real.
I understand what you guys are saying, and I can agree with you. I can agree with you guys. Like I can agree with you, because this is what Disney does in the fact that it looks like one of the theme park rides, right? They do things too well. Does that make sense? They don't have imperfections in their sets.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look real. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, no, I understand. Like they put time and effort into like we got to spray paint these boards to make them look as old as possible,
yes,
or
every single
we got to get
detail.
some spider webs coming out over
Yep.
here. Yeah,
I love the guys.
like
we gotta
every-
get some spider webs.
you know,
I don't know who that is.
even
know,
though
but
it doesn't
the
look,
voice is there.
even though it does that the witch's house is not supposed to look perfect, it looks perfect for what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I
It
understand. what
suits
you mean.
their characters and their personality. Like, you know what I mean? I guess like it. I don't know. When I see it, I see it almost as like it could be like a cartoon. Like it's almost
Yes.
cartoony.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And so are the characters, if you think.
Oh,
about
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, my favorite's Bette Midler, Winnie,
Yeah.
hands down. Just her ego. is so great. But we'll get into that in a minute. I want to talk more about the technical aspect of the film. One of the things I think this film does very, very well, and I just want to know if anybody else, again, disagrees with this, pacing. Fantastic in this film.
It might be the only thing I don't disagree with. I think pacing's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it moves along quick.
It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
You never really feel like
perfectly.
you're in the same place ever again.
Nope.
I fell asleep during this movie.
At what what scene? At what scene?
It was right when they got to the adult party.
Oh,
I
that's
passed
one
out.
of the best parts.
It is one of the best parts, and I'm going to bring up why.
Passed out.
Because the Misfits are playing on stage. I'm just kidding.
Was that the Misfits? Wow. Did a lovely rendition of 50s rockabilly.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did get them. I wish they did.
No, I think the pacing. I wouldn't say that. I don't know if I'm going to say the pacing was slow, but I just think the story in general didn't feel like driven as quickly, and maybe it just felt a little disconjointed a bit. Like I did feel like it was jumping around quickly. So while the pacing was right on, the story wasn't flowing like I felt it should have, which made it feel boring to me or not engaging.
Well, that's the biggest issue with this movie, honestly, is the story.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue. But, I mean, if you take your brain out for a little bit and just enjoy a popcorn movie, which I think this is, you can enjoy this movie. Because, yeah, there's little things that in this movie that this time around when I watched it, it was driving me insane. Like when she's flying next to Zachary, when he's flying next to Zachary in the car as they're getting away towards the end of the film, and she's like, do you have your learner's permit? I'm like, how does she know what a learner's permit is? They didn't even know what a road was.
Yeah, we all had
Thank you.
problems.
We also that I also asked, why does she know that song that she sings? She's been asleep for 300 years.
I put a spell on you.
Yeah, why would she know that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind. I had
magic.
Oh, so the same reason why
They're
she does
very
her learner's permit then.
perceptive, Kyle. They probably
They
heard it on the
bus.
way.
They heard it on the bus.
I mean, it's a huge continuity problem because if they're gonna play up the whole, they're from the 1700s and they don't understand what a road is.
Yeah,
like
then they can't.
then
they're
they
not allowed
can't-
to know
yeah.
songs
and then know what a driving permit is.
The other thing that bugged me was Billy. I love Billy's character. Don't get me wrong. I love Billy's character, the zombie ex-boyfriend. But when he finally cuts open his mouth and he's yelling at Winnie, and the Max makes the line of like, "Don't breathe on me because your breath's really bad." I'm like, he's dead. He wouldn't be breathing on you.
Do you know when the moths fly out? Those are actually real moths.
Really?
It's not CG. Those are real moths.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
gross.
Yeah.
How many moths had to die to make that
Yeah,
scene?
because once they
Oh,
get
right
wet
now.
in your mouth, they can't fly, right?
No, you get all that, and then you get all that moth powder in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
Well, I gotta respect him, for doing it for his craft.
Hey, method.
Yeah.
So, but
he did it for Disney. He didn't do it for his craft.
Okay,
He did it for
yeah.
Disney.
also going with
And they made a great film, Kyle.
also going with the story though that this movie has some great scenes.
I agree they did. I think Tron's a great film.
They do have great scenes. What are like? I think every scene I can find something that I like about it.
But
you know?
no, like there's certain ones that you will remember. Like I think everybody can remember. At least for me, I'll see if you guys do the scene where they find their master, Satan.
Oh yeah,
during
of
Halloween.
course, of
That's
course.
cool, and it's the Marshalls.
Yeah,
Penny
yeah.
and what's her? I can't
Frank?
remember. Frank Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, but
it's kind of cool that they got those guys in the film. I mean,
They did a great job.
Yeah.
I loved
They're
it.
hilarious in that scene. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
The torture chamber, which is the kitchen. You know.
I loved it. I love that. That is.
Get out of my house. Make us.
I
Dog.
always remember the scenes with Jay and Ice. Those made me laugh the hardest. Just because like they're so overdone, so exaggerated.
What's Ice's real name?
Oh my god, isn't it like? It's like,
He's like, don't call me that
Dennis
anymore.
or something.
He's like
or-
start with a C or something.
He's like, don't call me that anymore. I told you to call me Ice. And then he just turns around and has ice shaved
This
to
is
the
ice.
back of his head, and he's just pointing to it. I'm like, that's the baddest thing on the planet.
Nice cross trainers.
Yeah.
But there's other things I enjoy.
Tubular.
There's other things that I enjoy about this movie. The one thing that I think needs to get mentioned. Ernie, yes. The thing that I think that needs to get mentioned is the shining absolute star of this movie, the costumes.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone, if you go back and watch the costume ball, everyone in there has an immaculate costume. Everyone. And then also think into when they go into the rich people's house, which is Allison's house. If you look in the background at the costumes that those people are wearing too, gorgeous. Like the costumes, even the witches' costumes are fantastically done.
Yeah.
Like costumes are the winners of this film.
Yeah, I definitely. I think Disney's got access to all that kind of stuff.
I'm not mistaken. I think this won a Saturn Award for Best Costume.
Did it? It should.
I think it did.
Should.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe we can't give it an award.
We should probably look that up.
Yeah.
I can't believe we can't give it an award on our own planet, but thank God for Saturn.
Stupid.
All right, guys, we're going to take a real quick break and find out if this movie won an award on Saturn. We'll be right back.
Twist the bones and bend the back. Here to take up a mystic. Turn him of his baby fat. Here to take up a mystic. Give him fur black as black, just like this.
All right, guys, we're back, and we're talking about Hocus Pocus. One of the things I wanted to bring up, that since this is a Disney movie, man, do they talk about sex a lot in this film, huh?
They sure do.
It is a Disney movie, so.
I mean, you got a virgin's got to light the candle, and it's brought up a lot that he's a virgin.
They keep going at it like it's some weird thing that a teenager would be a virgin in high school. Like
it's not weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
This is my brother, and he's a virgin, and he lit the candle. It's
Yeah.
like, all right.
The cop's like, some virgin was just bothering me and thought I was a real cop.
Stupid virgin.
And then, way to open that up way behind you to make less noise.
No one heard that.
And then, Sarah Jessica Parker's character, is she in there for just the dads?
Yeah, her child. Yes. I don't know what's going on with her. She has some weird, very vague lines that I don't understand. Where she's like, "We need to play with this kid."
Yeah, she was just meant to be the hot chick. Like, honestly, like
to transfer that into children, it makes me feel like, was she like a child
hey,
molester?
I was like
going
9 when I
that?
saw this movie, and I was definitely wanted to have sex with her.
Okay,
as a 9-year-old child.
Let's cut that out.
Yeah,
no, I'm not ashamed of it. I feel like she looked great, and it just showed me what my taste in women were. I like witches.
I'm more surprised that at 9 you were thinking about having sex with certain people, which is
why is that surprising?
I don't know. Do you know what sex is at 9?
I think I.
I don't know that I really did.
I had a pretty good idea. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
His scrambled channel was not that scrambled.
No. I told you guys. I was curious about it. So when I saw like Sarah Jessica Parker, I had a crush on my babysitter at like 5 or 6.
I feel like everybody. That's like a weird.
I
that's like a thing that everybody.
My
does.
first girlfriend at like 6, I guess, a girlfriend, whatever you want to call it.
Y'all guys real serious? You got a ring and stuff?
We got a ring.
Onion ring.
Got a friendship ring.
We played in the sandbox a lot.
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
You got them steady.
So going back to Hocus Pocus, what is one of your favorite effects? Because there's effects in this movie.
Yeah, there is for sure. I think they were done pretty well.
But what's your favorite one?
I didn't have one. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah. Not really.
Not Billy. You didn't like the way Billy looked, or
No.
Salem got ran over and blew up like a basketball.
No. It's just like
I thought the witch's makeup was really good. Like I also
when they were ugly, or
both when they were ugly and when they were just like their normal looking selves, they still looked like witches, but they were like at least a little bit more attractive. But as far as like big makeup or like effects, I would have to say I think I was impressed with them flying around on the brooms. I know it was just I liked all the wire work that they did. Even with the book like floating over, you could tell it was like attached to a wire.
Hey, and what's with those kids, man? Just stealing brooms.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you catch that they were
all the 3 sisters?
They were dressed as the sisters.
And they all stole brooms. And that's a point that I brought up. I was like, hey, look, in 1993 when you can trick or treat without your parents.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
Me too. And there was that many kids out on the street too.
Yeah.
Like there's not that many kids out on the street anymore. Mike was probably old and handing out candy at that time.
I was.
He doesn't remember very
He was
well.
30. He was 35.
I didn't quite understand. Yeah, what the kids were doing those days.
He didn't really get what Ice and Jay were up to. He wasn't that hip.
I watched this film and I'm just like, God, it's so over the top, so old.
Oh, man.
Like, what is this what kids are doing? They were shaving weird.
Yeah, and they were picking up pumpkins and smashing them in the street in front of it. They didn't care who was watching.
we didn't do that in the 80s.
You know?
We never did that.
They'd be like, look at these ugly chicks. You know?
Is that what we did?
That's what they did.
That's what you did, Mike.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
All right, guys. So what I want to know is how we're going to rate this film.
I'm gonna go with the
Circles of Salt.
The Book of Spells.
Well, you solved that one real
wow,
quickly.
that
There you go.
took forever. The Book of Spells.
Or as I like to call it, shitty Necronomicon.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, I think it's better than the Necronomicon.
Oh, it has an eye on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Necronomicon has a whole face.
Oh, did it light up? Did it light up when you opened it?
No, but it attacked you, and it would bite your hand off.
Your fang hand.
Your fang hand.
Your
off.
fang hand.
Oh, well, I'm glad with my fang hand I lost that a while ago. So, all right, guys, let's rate this movie. Let's start with Kyle.
All right, I'm having a hard time deciding how I'm going to rate this film because this is not a close film to my heart. I saw this movie, maybe part of it once when I was a child when it first came out, and I have not seen it again since 4 hours ago was when I just watched it. So, I don't think it's a good movie. I can see why people enjoy it. I think the acting and part of the witches is good. It's comical and it's theatrical, which is what Disney is going for, basically. But for an adult audience, it's totally lost. I think it's slow. I think it's a little boring, and I didn't enjoy it very much. I'm going to give it 1.5. What are we rating it?
Books of what?
Book of Spells.
Book of Spells.
1.5 Book of Spells.
1.5 Book of Spells from Kyle. Up next, Michael Salustio.
Okay, so I have one of the big problems I have with this film is that I feel like everything's fabricated in this film. Like we talked about the sets, right? And maybe you guys can answer me a question real quick. I also feel like the stakes of this film were fabricated, like just thrown together real quickly. Explain this to me real quick. So the witches are looking for a young girl to become young again, correct?
Yes.
But
Or is it a child?
Any child.
So any child, right? So they had these two guys in cages. Why didn't they just use them? Why didn't they just give up and say, well, we don't need Thora Birch.
Didn't they take the book? Isn't that why they went after him?
But they had two kids right there. Just like, hey.
And a cauldron of potion.
Yeah. A whole cauldron. They could have gotten any kid they wanted off the street, but they were all fixated on going after Thora Birch. For the only reason that I can understand was to get the story to go along.
No.
I don't see no other reason why the stakes were, I got to get Thora Birch. I got to get her
They
character.
bring it up towards the end of the film. She says to Winnie basically, we have all these kids here, we don't need them anymore, and because they have the Book of Spells the whole time, that's why they're after them.
Okay,
But she still made her spell that she needed her potion with.
Yeah, right. And she says it's because Winnie is very egotistical, and she wanted to get her because she wasn't able to.
It seems like such a stretch just to be like, oh, it's a character thing.
Oh, heaven forbid there be a character development.
Is it because
It's
she
not a
called
character
her
development.
ugly? Is that
Yeah,
why?
it's
Yes.
like it just seems like there's not a lot at stake with that, though. I mean, I understand getting the book back. I get that.
Gotta get the book back.
Gotta get the book back. But they had a whole cauldron of the potion, and they only seem to be interested in being young again. So I don't understand. For those reasons and all the other reasons, I mean, I'm gonna give it 2 books of spells, because I do think it's good for kids. I know kids love this film, man. They do, and I would, if I had children, I'd probably put them right in front of it. Just be like,
Here we go, guys.
go watch a better horror film.
I'm not putting it on the same level as this. I'm going to go next. I'm not putting this on the same level as this, but it's the way I can describe it. This is the Goonies for Halloween. This is a kid's Halloween adventure film. That's how I feel about it. You got to take your brain out a little bit to enjoy it because, yeah, things don't always line up. But if you just have fun with it and enjoy the characters and get in the Halloween spirit, this is the movie to do it to, man. Hocus Pocus is it. Bette Midler's awesome. Sarah Jessica Parker, oddly enough, is awesome. I don't like her in anything else. What's the other actress's name? I already did this again.
Catherine Najimy.
There you go.
Fantastic. The kids are the weak characters. It does have some problems. For that reason, I'm going to give it 3.5 books of spells.
All right.
Chris, where are you at?
I grew up with this movie. I would say I was probably like 9 when I saw it. I wanted to see it when I saw like the trailers because I wasn't really allowed to rent rated R movies at the time. So like this came out and I was like super pumped because, it's Halloween themed and I always loved Halloween. And so I finally got to watch it and I don't know what it was about it, but it stuck with me. So it does have like I have a history with the movie. I appreciate everything about it. I think it, like you said, Cody, it's just a fun thing. You got to take your brain out and who cares? It goes by super fast. The characters are all very good. It's very good timing between all of the characters. It's a simple story. It's a childhood I wish I had. I wish I had grown up in Salem after watching this movie and had this crazy adventure. You know what I mean? It's something I can definitely put myself in and want to experience. So with that being said, I am going to give it 4.5.
Wow.
Book of Spells.
That is a huge.
That's a huge rating.
There you go, guys. So when we come back, we're going to play a game that's brand new, and it's a fantasy draft. We're going to fantasy draft our top 5 horror movie villains when we come back.
Bye. Bye.
Bubble, I'm in trouble.
Tell me, friend, what is this contraption?
I call it a bus.
A bus? A what? And its purpose?
To convey gorgeous creatures such as yourselves to your most forbidden desires.
Well.
Hey, guys, we're back, and we are going to play Fear Draft. Where we're going to draft the top 5 horror movie villains of all time. Okay, they got to be in order from 5 to 1, 1 being the number 1 villain of all time. Okay, and you have 1 honorable mention. We're going to start off with number 5. It's going to go in a rotation. We'll start off with Kyle, and we'll go around the room, and we'll end on me. So, Kyle.
Yes.
You're drafted at number 5. Who's your number 5?
Number 5, I have Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Not on my list.
That was on my list.
Not on my list. Save.
there.
Don't tell what where it's at on your list. Yeah.
Cause.
But look at that. Look at that connection right there.
Boom.
Not on my list. Why is he on your list?
Well, you'll probably learn with quite a few of the characters on my list. I love psychological horror. I love that. I love the crazy in people. Like it's. I think that frightens me more than anything else. Is like there's demonic possessions and shit that happens in horror films, but that's all seems fantasy still. Where somebody fucking snapping and just going insane is real, and he embodies that beautifully. Obviously he sees ghosts or sees other things and shit that's going on, but he fucking loses his mind and he tries to kill his family. It's fucking great. It's terrifying.
There you go, Chris. Who's your number 5?
My number 5 was Pennywise from It.
Pennywise from It. Not on my list.
That's on my list, actually.
Not on mine.
Is it?
Not on my list. What are you guys syncing up here? Not on my list.
Yeah, that's my number 5. I think I'm not really afraid of clowns. I think clowns have been they've tried to do them up scary and make them more like of monsters, but this was a clown that sort of still looked like a person to me, and you never forget those sharp teeth. I think that's definitely a character that will stick with me. It was definitely, the scene in It where the little boat goes down into the drain. the kid sticks his arm in there, and then the clown opens his mouth, and it's like razor sharp teeth. I saw that when I was 5 years old, and I think a lot of kids saw it when they were younger, and it sticks with them for a long time.
Never made a paper boat again, did you?
Nope.
Not sticking my arm down in a drain, that's for damn sure.
Mike, number 5.
Okay, so my number 5 actually comes from a very recent film. It is The Babadook.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna
didn't make my list, but I
put it
wanted
right out there. Spoilers, just so you might want to skip ahead. One of the reasons why I love The Babadook is because it might not even be a real thing. It might not even be there. But it is a frightening creature that has psychological implications that it might be a manifestation of something else. Not even a creature, but it follows all the rules of what a frightening, like a poltergeist would. That's why I have him at my number 5.
There you go. My number 5 is the one that might get me in trouble. I don't know if it's necessarily would be considered from a horror movie, but I think it's one of the best villains, and it's a ghost of all time. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That is my number 5.
Yeah.
He's not very terrifying, but he is terrifying. He's a
giant
huge
fucking
marshmallow man.
It's kind of like
He's
he's
walking at
terrifying
you.
in the way that he's not terrifying.
Yes.
He's not supposed to be terrifying, but he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he steps on you.
What did
you're
you do,
definitely
Ray?
Dead.
What did you do? Kyle, you're number 4.
Number 4, Asami Yamazaki from the film Audition. This is the... Nope, I'm getting heads shaking. Nobody's seen this?
I just have never seen it yet.
I have seen some of it.
Not seen this, so I'm going to have to go check this out.
All right,
If it's your number 4.
She is a what seems like a very normal but quiet, shy Japanese girl. It's a Japanese.
I've heard of this film, and I hear it's fantastic.
Fucking brutal. She basically starts dating this. I think this guy's wife dies or something, so he holds a fake audition to meet girls, basically, and this is the one he picks, and then she becomes jealous of his dead wife, to the point that she knocks him up with a drug that basically paralyzes him, and then begins going to work on his body with piano wire, with acupuncture needles. Some go into the eye, and she's just overall, once again, a complete psychopath, and it's just terrifying to watch.
Okay. Chris, number 4.
Number 4. We got number 4 or number 3?
We're number 4.
We're on number 4.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Number 4 for me was Jack Torrance.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't need to say too much more than what was already said by Kyle, but definitely think Jack Nicholson makes a great villain.
Yes.
So.
Mike, number 4.
My number 4 is Jerry Dandridge, the vampire from Fright Night. I think Chris Sarandon is fantastic in that film because he embodies this. I mean, the whole concept of the film is that it's a vampire living next door, and he is so out of place with it. He has that weird dandyism. It's almost like he comes from a different era, and that's what's so appealing about him. But he's frightening. He is a frightening character, and the way he plays that character is so great. He's so great.
All right, my number 4 is terrifying because it can be anyone. And it's Ghostface. Scream.
Okay.
No one.
I'm sorry.
I think it was a good,
One of the
I think it was a good character.
Great character that changed the game in horror movies.
I mean,
It
that
definitely
mask
brought the
is-
slasher. The
Brought it back
slasher-
to life.
Brought it back, yeah.
Ghostface is a great character.
Kind of reinvented that, the
Yeah.
idea of the slasher really well.
Number 3. Kyle.
Number 3 is a specific. It's Hannibal Lecter, but it's Hannibal Lecter from the current, or I guess now former, TV series Hannibal, played by Mads Mikkelsen. I believe I'm saying his name right.
Okay.
He played this character better than I think anybody else. After you watch the show, you watch Anthony Hopkins' version, and it's just so theatrical and almost comical, whereas Matt's character, he's a perfectionist. A lot of the show focuses on him. It has a lot to do with, cooking, and he's, this, fucking 5-star culinary chef with human bodies. He's creating these lavish meals to which all these characters in the film, FBI agents and profiles who are basically chasing this person, they don't know it's him yet, they're sitting there having dinner with him because he's helping the FBI in the first season and stuff, and they're eating these bodies with him and not knowing it, and he's just He's so violent and terrifying, but he doesn't seem out of place. It feels very natural to him. Like he's not doing anything wrong in his mind, and he plays it beautifully. Great portrayal of Hannibal Lecter.
Chris, number 3.
Number 3 is going to have to be Tony Todd, the Candyman himself. The idea of that freaks the fuck out of me. We'd all probably already heard the story of Bloody Mary, when we were kids, and this was kind of a more modern take on it. But they didn't make it cheesy. They made it actually really frightening, and I have to thank Clive Barker for that one. And Tony Todd, we've seen him in The Crow, we've seen him in other things, but I think this was the role that he
definitely
really embodied the most.
For sure.
Mike, number 3.
My number 3 is Regan or / Lucifer, Satan, whatever devil was possessing this girl. That character is a mind fuck of a fucking villain.
Yeah.
Like that is the frightening thing about it is just how she's just constantly trying to get into these priests' heads and fuck with them constantly. Oh my god, it's frightening just to see a creature that's so manipulative like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the frightening thing about it. Yeah, I love her.
My number 3 is a psychopath. He's crazy, and he wears other people's skin. His name's Leatherface. That's my number 3. Leatherface is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole family is terrifying. I almost throw a whole family in there, but I'm just going with Leatherface on this one because I don't want to throw the whole gang in there. But chainsaws, terrifying, horrible way to go. Big dude who outweighs you, is incredibly strong, but wearing other people's skin and dancing his ass off. Dances,
especially number 2, man.
He's got a
shimmy. He's got a shimmy.
Dances his ass off, but I gotta go with Leatherface for number 3. Kyle, you're number 2. Not on anybody else's list.
Nope.
Wow.
My number 2 would be Leatherface.
There you go. Thank you.
Specifically Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, the original.
Not
from,
2?
From the 70s. No.
Not breakdancing Leatherface?
That was my problem with number 2. They took the fear out of Leatherface. The first movie scared the shit out of me. Like,
oh, dude,
he is
just
so creepy and
brutal.
And I find him different than, like, say, a Jason or a Michael Myers, where they're slow and not, they're slow and they're moving, but they always catch you. Whereas he's like he's booking it after you with a chainsaw over his head. Like,
it's
how
just
much
screaming.
fucking more terrifying. And that scene where they're going through the desert at night, and the guy in the wheelchair like points the flashlight right in his face. He just gets fucking chainsaw to the gut. Fucking makes me jump every time.
Number 2 for Kyle was Leatherface. Chris, who's number 2 for you?
Number 2 for me would be Pumpkinhead.
Ooh.
And that's because I just love creatures. Like, I think the creature idea is almost more terrifying than a human being the villain, because it's something you haven't seen before. And that particular creature, the Pumpkinhead creature, is really frightening.
Let me ask you a question. Pumpkinhead 1 or 2? 1 or 2, bro?
I like them both. 2 is actually surprisingly good.
2 is I like 2 better than 1.
Yeah,
I'm a 2 fan.
1's a little boring. 2 kind of gets going.
2 turns into like a slasher film, so that's why I think I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, speaking of 2, Mike, who's your number 2?
Are you saying I'm your number 2?
Always.
Thank you.
If I had to pick a co-host, Mike, it'd be you.
Oh man. My number 2 is Jason Voorhees. What I love about Jason Voorhees is that he's a tank. That's it. He's just this unstoppable force. You throw everything at him, and he just keeps coming. And that slow, wandering, whatever you would call it, coming at you, the fact that you just keep hitting him and he never goes down, he's going to get you eventually, I think that is very frightening.
Well, Annie has amazing character development from, going from a country boy with a bag over his eye to a city slicker boxing people's heads off.
That's how it is.
Fantastic scene.
He's like an onion. He has layers, man.
He does.
He's got
He
different
just keep
dimensions.
peeling them back.
So you to see him go from a country boy to a city slicker, it's amazing.
Then he goes to space. He's an astronaut.
He's an astronaut.
He's an
This dude
astronaut.
is living every childhood dream. Jason Voorhees is doing it.
He's really
He's
a
out
hero.
there.
He's not even a villain. We shouldn't even be on this
He's
list.
not even on the list. My number 2, again, goes with the theme of it could be anyone, and that would be The Thing from John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
Oh God, dude,
Cool.
such a good, terrifying. Oh,
Yeah.
holy crap, is that scary?
And it's like, what
you don't
is
know
it?
who it is.
What is
Exactly.
it?
Yeah, and what is it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you can't let it out.
That's that's a great pick.
Yeah.
That's my number 2. Kyle, who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Pennywise.
Really? Wow.
Really? It's number 1, not even on my list, and you put it as number 1?
You know what? I fucking hate clowns. Tim Curry is fantastic as this evil demon spirit, and like of all things for this like demonic creature to take the form of like a fucking clown. Like really, a fucking clown. I hate clowns. And yes, as Chris pointed out, he has the razor sharp teeth, and I don't know. He just sucks. So I just hate.
Just appears and like scares you and then disappears and then
fucking balloons full of blood popping in front of your face. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah, every time you turn around, he's cracking a fucking joke and
That
murdering
movie,
somebody.
that movie took so long for me to finally watch it all the way through because I just didn't like the clown aspect.
What about that scene where he's standing in the middle of the big like fieldy, like what is it? It's almost like a reservoir.
Yeah,
or
like the pond thing.
Yeah, and he's just standing in the middle, like waving. It's
Yeah.
like that haunts your fucking.
It fucking
dreams.
does. It's not a fan.
Chris, number 1.
Number 1, I'm just a fanboy here, but Michael Myers, he's a little slow, but I think he is to me the creepiest slasher.
Another psycho. That's another psycho on the list.
It's a dude with a mask on. It's very simple, but I think really the mood of those films is what hooks me too.
Let me ask you this. Which Michael Myers?
Oh, Resurrection for sure. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what?
No,
we all looked at him
which,
like,
which
huh?
Michael Myers character do you like more? Do you like
I like
the-
6. I like 6. I like the first one, and I like 6 a lot.
Oh, we're not even talking about that. What I'm talking about is, do you like the Rob Zombie Michael
Oh,
Myers?
God.
Jesus.
No.
The
Like
original.
anything before that. I love Rob Zombie's films. Don't get me wrong. Captain Spaulding was my what do you call it?
Honorable mention?
That's
Your
my
spirit
honorable
animal?
mention.
Well, you're already letting that out the bag? All right.
Yeah,
Well,
what
that's
the
fine.
fuck? Why not?
Why not?
So
It's your show,
I love,
you do whatever.
I love Rob Zombie, but I don't think that he captured what everybody loves so much about the original series.
By the way, Captain Spaulding is an honorable mention. Fantastic. Mike, who's your number 1?
Okay, so my number 1 is also from The Shining. So this might be a disagreement to you and Kyle and Chris.
Shelley Duvall.
No, actually, it's The Hotel. I feel that's the villain in
It's a good one.
The Shining.
Look how you put a little twist on that, huh?
I think the hotel in itself is a character. It has character. And the way Kubrick shoots it at the beginning of it, where the fear of it starts off as just being in a big, open, empty area. That's where the suspense starts building. And then you start seeing these creepy things. And then you start realizing that it's this kind of entity that's trapping these souls and using these souls to turn people insane or whatever, and then trying to keep them in. And that's where Jack goes nuts and starts murdering everybody. Yeah.
Is your honorable mention The House from House?
It is, yeah. The House from House. No, it's not. But I do have an honorable mention.
I do too.
Should I get that now? Or
You can throw it out there.
I
Why
didn't
not?
get mine
Chris,
out there.
What?
What the hell?
Hey, guys, say your honorable mentions.
Okay,
Chris already broke the rules.
My honorable mention, because it's not technically a horror film, but it's a horror film in space, as I believe Ridley Scott said it was, is the Xenomorph from Alien. I think it's...
Oh, dude, that counts.
Yeah.
That
is a horror
Okay,
film.
I didn't know if that discredited it, but it definitely put it in my honorable mention. The idea of something infecting you in a way, it's kind of like it's using you as a procreation device. It's freaking,
Yeah.
And the chest burst scene is so iconic for that very reason. The idea that a creature can not only just murder you outright, but use you as like it's a parasite. It's just disgusting.
You're just the host.
Yeah, you're the host.
Who's your honorable mention before I say my number 1?
Oh. Annie Wilkes.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, from
Misery.
There you go. That movie.
That's a good one.
You notice a lot of people on my list are more psychological killers. I'm noticing that as I'm reading them off, actually. But yeah, she is batshit fucking crazy. She breaks his fucking leg so he can't get away with the goddamn sledgehammer. Like that's the scene makes me want to like just vomit every time I see it.
And you don't even see anything in the film. You just hear it off screen.
No, you see the foot bend.
Do you?
I think you do. Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah, you fucking do. You fucking just go. It just makes a 90-degree turn. Like feet shouldn't do that.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hate that.
All right.
Who's your honorable mention, Cody?
Well, I'm going to go to my number one first.
Okay.
My number one is going to be Freddy. Hands down for me, it's Freddy. Can't believe it was on no one's list. I'm kind of shocked by that. But, yeah, dude, Freddy's terrifying, man. He's in your dreams.
Yeah.
So you can't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, when I was a kid, also the television show,
Freddy's Nightmare or something. Like
yeah,
that.
had like they ripped off the bed scene again, but it was I think it was in like a water bed, and I remember that to this day as being like just frightening because I had a water bed. So it scared the living bejesus out of me.
Man.
So that's my number one. My honorable mention would have to be Godzilla. Got to give it up to him because he's a monster. No, I would give it. It would have to. I have two honorable mentions. It's actually Godzilla and Dracula. Because Dracula, you have to throw in. It should be number one on everyone's list. I feel like because he's been in every single horror movie throughout time.
I feel like if I had a second honorable mention, it would have been Freddy Krueger. Just so you know.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Good. But, I mean, Dracula, you got to throw Dracula in for real, because Dracula has been around for, ever.
Yeah, I mean,
and they just keep on reincarnating Dracula in different movies. So, I mean, as a character, as a villain, he's probably realistically number one, but this is our pick, so whatever.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's our show for the evening. I hope you enjoyed the fantasy draft. I know I did. Tell us what your fantasy draft is. Tell us what your top 5 is on our Facebook or our Twitter at cultfilm_review or our Instagram at cultfilm_review. Or tell Mike on his Twitter.
At Mike Lucio.
Or on his blog.
Well, friendlyneighborhoodfilmmaking.com. You don't have to contact me on that, though. That's
Go ahead.
That would be a weird cross promotion. Like, hey, man,
go ahead.
You're the dude from Cult Film and Review, right?
Just go
I
ahead.
don't give a shit about this other shit you're talking about, short films.
Go ahead and just contact him on there.
Yeah. Best way to get a hold
Go
of him.
straight there.
Best way.
Bypass the Cold
Just
Film
go right
website.
there.
Go straight.
We can keep it between us, and we don't have to include all these other 3 guys. But also, let's not us forget.
Do we want fan pics?
Yeah, we want
we
fan
always
pics.
want
We
fan
always
pics.
want fan pics.
So send us your fan pics via mail.
Snail mail.
Yeah, the actual real mail. No, I'm
Let's
just
not
kidding.
give out the address.
No.
But definitely on
We'll
Twitter.
give out Chris's address.
Definitely on
P.O.
Facebook.
box.
You might even be able. Maybe you're an Instagram dude. Go on Instagram.
Tell
You can
us.
Put it on there.
We've already picked one, and I think we got more coming, if I'm not mistaken.
And
So-
prizes.
And prizes.
Prizes come included.
So, hey guys, that's our show for the week. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you around the bend.